now invite Dr. Chandrika Kaushik, Distinguished Scientist and Director General, PC&SI, DRDO. Ma'am, may I now request you to kindly address the gathering.
A very good afternoon to all the distinguished leaders from Indian industry, our uniformed community, international partners. I know I'm standing between you and lunch, and we have had a number of discussions. The subject is next generation indigenous defense technologies and systems. Can somebody push the slides, if it is possible, and send a PowerPoint presentation if somebody could load it. Right. So typically the way we have been developing and inducting systems till date in the armed forces is through the mechanism of we have a long-term plan with respect to the capabilities that we need, then we have a technology plan, we work out short, medium term, long term, what are our plans, and based on that develop indigenous capability in terms of both technology and the systems that are required. And when we conceptualize a system, it is generally driven by, we form some QRs based on the operational requirements, the scenarios, typically approval for design and development, the process of design and development, followed by trials, leading to induction. And normally the requirements that are being finalized today are based on what we are seeing in the global scenarios, the systems that are available, our field conditions. Those are the building blocks of what we need to do for tomorrow. That is typically the defense capability building process. If you look at it, the timelines from conceptualizing a requirement to actually bringing it into the field formations is typically a decade, if you take an average. And I'm short, small systems, big, large, some of them may be double the time, some of them could be half of it also, but I am taking an average, so it's typically a decade or so. And the way the wars are being fought today, I don't think we can afford to spend a decade from conceptualizing a system to actually bringing it to the people on the war front. So there is something that we need to look at it. We need to do things which are fundamentally different from the way we have been doing it till now, if we want to have results that are going to be different. If we are not able to change this paradigm, we will end up in having the same timelines, the capabilities will come in similar time frames, and I don't think we'll have different results. So one suggestion for this gathering here, and we have a lot of thought leaders here today, what do we need to do differently from the current process of, I don't want to prescribe anything, I will just leave this as a thought for all of you as to what should be done if we need to get different results. But I firmly believe that we need to do something fundamentally different if we need to have different results. Indigenous development, Atmanirbharta, today is the call of the country. Everybody is rearing up to contribute to it. To have indigenous systems for our own armed forces, we will need to conceptualize systems which are based on our own unique field conditions, our requirements, based on technologies that are homegrown, materials that are available indigenously. I know it's a long call and we don't have all the ingredients ready for making it happen today. But I firmly believe where there is a will, there is a way. And if we choose to take that path, there is nothing that can stop us from reaching the end goal. Coming to today's theme of I2, indigenization and international collaboration. On the first I have a fundamental difference. We should not be talking about indigenization. I would propose if we can talk about indigenous development. Indigenization, trying to do the same thing in the country based on IP that is coming from outside. I don't think that is the right way to go. We should focus on indigenous development and international collaboration. Both are important, both are essential if we need to build capability in early time frames. While engaging in international collaborations, I firmly believe that the IP and control of the systems that we are developing as a result of these international collaborations should firmly lie with the Indian ecosystem, and that is essential for jointness, Atmanirbharta, and using the innovation ecosystem. Okay, can we move forward, please? I think I'll skip the slides. I'll move very, very fast. Next slide, please. So our vision for 2047 is Viksit Bharat, India is a developed nation, self-reliant. We aspire to be a $30 to $40 trillion economy by that time. In the near time futures, we have set a target for defense production of about 3 lakh crores by 2029 and a target of 50,000 crores worth of exports by 2029. When we do international collaborations, we can't afford to have strings attached for production and exports. So to that extent, we need to ensure that whatever is being done in the country you have complete control over things that are being done. Next slide, please. If we look at the global conflicts that are happening all around us, all that we can say is that the systems, the requirements, the war scenario is changing very, very fast. What we visualize, what we worked on, the war doctrines, the operational requirements, the systems that were conceived, how relevant they are in today's scenario is something that needs to be examined by our men in uniform. The production of low-cost autonomous systems, the prevalence of drones, the need for anti-drone systems, indigenous AD architecture, the use of directed energy weapons. These are some of the new war enablers that are shaping the environment today. Next slide. DRDO as a defense capability builder with its 41 odd labs, 50 young scientist labs, working in multiple technology clusters, we have tried to do our bit in trying to anchor system of systems. Major programs that is done is a whole of nation approach. In any big platform or a system, be it an aircraft or a main battle tank or missiles, everywhere at least 100 industries, about 15 to 20 academic institutions, multiple MSMEs, startups, work together to make sure that the capability that is envisaged and is required is developed and is available. So we are the anchor which kind of connects the dots, trying to understand the capability that is required, breaking it down into what is the science that is required, which has to come from the academic institutions, what is the engineering, what is the new innovation that is required, kind of getting a whole of country together approach to make sure that things happen together. Next slide. Working forward, these are some of the systems that have already been developed, inducted, just to give you a flavor of how DRDO contributes. But I think the call for the coming times is the ability to work together in an integrated manner with a network-centric approach, availability of complete ISR at all times, incorporating AI into building solutions. Next slide. If we have to, I would suggest that we need to focus on these technologies to shorten the OODA loop so that information to the warfighter is available in the shortest possible time and in real time. Next slide. The technologies for tomorrow: hypersonics, high temperature materials, and other things. Next slide. Next slide. We can skip this also. Quantum, AI, cyber, C4ISR. These are the 4 new technology verticals that we need to spend a lot of time. We need to work in innovating in these areas, and again it has to be a whole of country approach, and in a few of these we already have national missions, be the semiconductor, AI, quantum. Next slide. So we work together with industry, academia, the national missions, international agencies through different mechanisms. MOUs, there are various steering groups, we work on co-development, we work with the Russians, we work with the Israelis, we work with the Americans. Next slide please. To support the industry, multiple initiatives have been taken to make sure that the industry is able to contribute more and more towards developing indigenous systems capabilities. These are some of the interventions on the policy side that we have taken to enable the ecosystem. For paucity of time, I will not get into details of any of those. Next slide. To strengthen the innovation ecosystem, again there are multiple initiatives from the government side, be it the IDEX scheme, TDF, the development partners working in each of the development projects or the DCPPs. Multiple schemes with financial incentivization. Next slide. If we look at the international collaboration, we work with multiple countries. We are working through multiple mechanisms. They are both G2G, working directly with the industry, and we are open. Today, I think the government of India is open to any mechanism that is required to make things happen faster, in real time, required as of date. Next slide. With the academia, again we work with multiple academic institutions to help us develop TRL 1 to 3 technologies, which are then scaled up through the various DRDO labs and industries. So if we look at it, next slide, we can. The blueprint for 2047, if we are looking at a developed nation, we must have indigenous control over critical technologies, materials. That's the way to go. We have to focus on multi-domain, network-centric warfares. We need to ramp up our production capabilities, exports, then only the volumes. Collaborative co-development with friendly foreign countries. I would just like to close with 2 thoughts. While conceptualizing international collaboration, it must be demand driven rather than supply driven. So when we conceptualize systems, what is the collaboration that we need? What is the end impact that we are looking for? Who's the best agency which can meet that requirement, and whether it is encumbrance free? Those are some of the aspects that we should look at while engaging with these. And when we work towards building indigenous capabilities systems, we must focus on building first of its kinds indigenous systems that will meet the requirement of our soldiers in our field conditions based on our homegrown sovereign technology. With that, I'd like to conclude. Thank you. Jai Hind.